If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new album in the description.
The Logic news is just kind of stacking on top of each other right now. I went over, a lot of stuff over the past couple of weeks, but today we got an announcement for 2 new singles dropping this Friday, moving us again a little bit closer to the release of his new album, Vinyl Days. So today, I kind of quickly want to recap on how he's been getting active again, and then of course focus on what this new announcement means and what the songs are, obviously. So let's jump straight into this. So what I mean with, the news are stacked on top of each other, well, first of all, we got another Just Another Day episode, the first one in 5 or 6 years, which is like those vlogs he's doing. I really enjoyed that one. Make sure you go watch it if you're a Logic fan, if you've been watching those back in the day. It's really interesting for the fans and very, kind of insightful and valuable. So that happened. So we knew that he was somehow back, in the limelight and like moving around. He performed at the at like that Bitcoin conference in Miami that a lot of people attended, and he performed there as well. So he's been making some moves again. And then yesterday as well, I went over this in my video yesterday. Make sure you go check that one out, because that kind of goes hand in hand with this one. We got the announcement for a joint tour together with Wiz Khalifa and also 24K Golden, C. Castro, Ruby Rose, and all the likes of that. So he's going on tour again starting July 27th. And the whole thing about the video yesterday was that this basically announced that Vinyl Days, his new album, was going to drop before July 27th, because this tour is called Vinylverse, so it only makes sense that he's going to perform the album Vinyl Days on this tour and use it to promote the record. So it's got to drop before then, so before July, or in early July. But now we're kind of moving forward into this new announcement that we just got, which yet again adds a whole nother layer to this. We've gotten so much Logic information over the past 2 to 3 days, it's insane. So let's look at this. So he took to Instagram to share a picture of himself and his son sitting in like his room with a lot of those like little gadgets and stuff like that, books he keeps around him to keep himself motivated. He's always been known for having those type of rooms, and the caption reads, "Dropping a 2-pack for y'all. Tetris and Decades drop this Friday." So we know that 2 songs are dropping this Friday. It's 2 singles from the new album, likely. Would make sense since everything is kind of like, pointing towards the fact of that. Also, we already know what the songs sound like, and they are both from Vinyl Days, but we're going to get into that in a second. First of all, I want to point out that Rhetoric, so his DJ, commented, "The subtlety behind you doesn't go unnoticed," and then only one person replied to this and said almost did. Now, I've been looking around this picture for a very long time now for some hints for Vinyl Days, for some hints to a possible release date, because Logic likes to, hide certain Easter eggs in his covers, his art that he does. But I really couldn't find anything. If you kind of found out about this, or know anybody that found out about this and know where it is and what it is, please let me know. And also please, submit it into the comments so that everybody knows what's going on and isn't just left in the dark like that. So I really appreciate y'all if you know about this, to comment what this subtlety means. But let's actually talk about what this all could mean. Now, first of all, that picture with his son looks pretty cool. Could be the cover art for the singles. I don't think for the whole Vinyl Days album, but for the singles, it's a possibility. Now let's talk about these 2 tracks, Tetris and Decades, because we already know both of them. They are both snippets that have been going around for some time now, and for Tetris, we only have a couple of seconds as like a looped, just loop you can find on YouTube just with a quick search. It's really, all out there, and it's like a, boom bap type of more hard-hitting rap, kind of what he did on YS4, which I do enjoy, and definitely also fits in with the theme of Vinyl Days, so a throwback to the 90s and taking inspiration from that, from Wu-Tang Clan and people that Logic was inspired by. So it definitely fits into that category, that Tetris track. Now, Decades is another thing though, because this is like a singing track with some verses on there, something that Logic has liked to do quite a bit in the past as well. This track has been going around for a very long time. You've probably heard this already, and this was also a track that he performed at in Miami at the Bitcoin conference, and also that he did that open verse challenge too, that then this dude from Minnesota won, that he also brought out on stage at the Bitcoin festival. So this thing has been making the rounds in the realms of the Rat Pack and like the Logic community, because he already announced this on TikTok and did like an open verse challenge. So he's been trying to push this out for quite some time now, and we all know about this. He even announced this at the Bitcoin conference with like, this is like, a new song from my new album. So we know that the two singles, Tetris and Decades, are from Vinyl Days. They're not just some random, singles that he's throwing out there, kind of like as like Drake would do with the Scary Hours, but they're actually connected to the album, since, we know that it's from there because he announced it at the Bitcoin conference as well, and that's just been thrown around like that as well. So if you want to listen to the songs already, or at least in the case of Tetris, to a looped snippet of the song, then just hit up YouTube and listen to them. But of course, it's always worth listening to the actual song when it comes out on streaming, which I would recommend you do. Now, this also means, because Logic said that Vinyl Days is dropping when the samples clear, and both of those songs use samples in my my best guess. So that means that the samples are cleared. So that means that Vinyl Days is about to drop. I mean, that could be a topic for a whole nother video, but that was just something that I was curious to throw in there, because it really will make sense that the samples are now cleared, so Vinyl Days is ready to roll out. I've seen people in the comments already talk about, okay, so Vinyl Days dropping in 3 weeks. I don't know how they get to that number, but could be, at any point now. But I would also kind of see it happening right before the tour starts, just to kind of, hype up the music a little bit more and have more to sell when they go on tour. So that's what happened. Logic announced 2 new singles dropping this Friday, Tetris and Decades, both snippets that we've heard before. As I said, go hit up YouTube to find out about the snippets. Apparently there's some subtlety in this photo, might be the cover art. Let me know if you know what this is. And this also means that Vinyl Days is finished basically, and the samples are cleared. Anyway, that's just my theory on that. Now let me know what you think about this. Are you excited for Vinyl Days? What do you think about this 2-pack dropping on Friday? What do you like about the snippets so far, Tetris and Decades? And do you think that this means that the samples are all cleared and Vinyl Days is ready to go? And if so, when is it dropping? Anytime soon now, or rather in July, right before the tour? All of that, please let me know in the comments down below.
If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.